Oh, it doesn't do window mode. Wait, okay, let's see. I remember that song. And I was like, what is that? Kyo versus Akuma? Who's he saving? Is he saving Ryu or are you saving Ryo? Mr. Karate!
SNK Chaos, SNK vs Capcom.
I dig that. I can't remember. But all right, here goes the part where we all get to argue and go back and forth. This is the part that we like the most in Rate That Fighter is going back and forth with these ratings. You guys can go back and forth in the comments if you like. The folks over here on Twitch, here live, they're making comments as we continue to move forward throughout this rating. So SVC Chaos was the SNK version of the collaboration between the two organizations there, and this game has gotten a lot of hate actually from what I've seen, but it just kind of is what it is. The intro was cool. It was okay. It was nice. I'm gonna have to give the intro a 14 because it kind of told you what was going on and saying, hey, we have this collaboration going. And honestly, if we're in the arcades of yesteryear, I think that'd be something that I would actually like attract me to it, which it did. That's me playing it. Character select screen, I kind of like the divide. It has the SNK characters on one side, has the Capcom characters on the other. I think they could have used more characters from both games, but that wasn't my call. It wasn't our call. It kind of is what it is, but I kind of like the character select screen that they have there. We're gonna give it a 13. I think that's fair. Character viability. I think the big thing here with the character viability is like, was it the King of Shotos in this game? So you have Mr. Karate, you have Ryo, you have Ken, you have Ryu, you have Sagat. Sagat's not a Shoto, but he kind of has a Shoto moveset a little bit there. You get everybody's a freaking Shoto, and the inputs for everybody's like the exact same thing. I'm surprised they didn't put like a Fei Long in there to kind of match up with Kyo, because Kyo had the Rekka, and then he has the the flaming fist, spinning fist. And granted, it's forward, but Fei Long's is backwards, but it's kind of the same thing. I'm surprised they didn't do that one-for-one comparison in this game. So I can't give this a high rating because it's like you can play almost all the characters the same way. Almost the same way. The keyword is almost. So I give it about a 16. Character design. Honest, I really like this one. It looked like they went in and changed all the sprites from the Street Fighter characters. The Street Fighter characters from CVS2, they just recycled stuff from Alpha. There's a few little sprites here and there, and they grabbed stuff from King of Fighters, 98, and they kind of molded it to the Street Fighter way. But I really like the design and the way these characters look in this version of it. So I'm willing to give this one a 13. It's not super high, but it's high enough. Game mechanics. I think this is the part where a whole lot of people get upset. There's a lot of cheapness in there. I will admit, there's a lot of cheapness in this game. You can interrupt supers with regular punches or just normal specials. I'm like, what is that about? I think that's pretty weird. There's a couple broken things in there. It's okay, but at the same time, it's still its own thing, right? So I have nothing but respect for that. Maybe a 23. That's probably a thing that's going to be controversial here. The game mechanic and how it plays. The game design, I think the game overall is just a beautiful game. Let's give it a 12. 12. Character customizations and options, we only can give it a 5 because it's just palette swaps. That's at 56. We only can give it a 5 because of palette swaps or whatever. The music, I've just never been a huge fan of the SNK sound. You guys might. I know somebody said, hey, the music here is a banger, but the music here is like, just really, it really annoys me, man. It's like a buzzing, it's like a ringing in the ear. So I can't give it a high score on that one, maybe a 10. Outro and game endings, not that great. Not that great. It tells a story, but it's like, okay, thanks for telling me the rest of the story. It's not really, it doesn't make me want to play it again, but there was one, so we'll give it 11. Replay value, I think there's a little replay value here. I'm not gonna give it a super duper high score. I think it's like the replay value here is a 12. I'm willing to say that it's about a 12. Like, this is a game that you play with your buddies and reminisce, but you don't necessarily go into tournament mode. Like, again, I'm being a little biased because I like this one a lot better than CVS2. That's just my opinion, but with me not being biased, this is what I can say to it, right? Because a lot of my friends aren't playing this, and it's just me playing. And I think after beating the game by myself on arcade mode or labbing, I would think I put it down after about an hour or two. You know, it doesn't make me want to keep on playing all day. The overall look and feel, though, I think is pretty solid. Maybe, let's say overall look and feel here is maybe a 29, right? Kind of going back to my replay value comment that I just had earlier. I don't want to keep on playing it over and over again, but I think it's fairly fun. It's a solid game. Next part, additional gameplay and modes for this version. It just has arcade mode, that's about it, and 2-player mode. So 0, it is what it is. Is there a story? Yes. Is there a story mode? No. But they have cutscenes between a lot of the characters and go back and forth so you can understand this universe. So I'm gonna give it something. I'll give it a 3. I think that's fair. I think that's fair. Online gameplay. This game was made before 2009. This game was not made to be played online. It is what it is. I'm gonna have to automatically give it a 10 in the extra credit section there. I remember 2009, that's when we officially are like, boom, we are here. We are in modern fighting game times. 2009 with Street Fighter 4 being one of the better games, and they kind of understood the net code so that you could have a playable match in that environment. So that's why I give it that. So we got to give it the benefit of the doubt. Was it good for its time? Well, let's see. Was it good? Let's see. When did this game release? This game, well, let me make sure I'm not crazy here. This game released 2024 on Steam. So was it good for its time right now? No, there's a whole lot of other better games. Let me look at another space here to make sure I'm not crazy. And so that we can have a leg to stand on in understanding which games were viable during that time. I'm going to Fighters Generation. Fighter Generation is like hands down one of my favorite websites of all time when it comes to FGC stuff. Let's go and see SNK versus Capcom Chaos. I think Millennium was good too, by the way. Millennium came out in 1999. That's the one with the chibi stuff. The SNK versus Capcom Chaos, that came out 2003. 2003, and there were a lot of good games that came out in 2003, right? I think we can all agree there was some solid stuff happening in the year of our Lord 2023. Not 2023, 2003, excuse me, 2003. Let me see what games were released during that time. And remember, there's other games that you can compare it to from before these games even came out, right? So I can say Street Fighter Alpha is a better game than this, right? At least I think so. Let me find the stuff for this so I can have a date for this. TA game rating sheet. Final separated birth. Fighting game timeline. Here we go. Fighting game timeline 2003. The year was 2003. And in 2003, what we got was Bloody Roar 4, Guilty Gear X2, King of Fighters 2003, King of Fighters X2, Power Instinct, Samurai Showdown 5, Soul Calibur 2, and then of course SNK Chaos. But the year before that, we had Guilty Gear XX, Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance, Soul Calibur, Street Fighter 3 Upper, and Virtua Fighter 4 Evolution. So there's even going further back, if you go from 2000 all the way up to that time, there were a lot of good games. So I'm gonna probably have to give this maybe a 2. I'm not necessarily gonna say it's good for its time because there wasn't anything that compelled us to go, hey, this is the game that we're playing 2003 and everybody's going back to it fondly. I am, because I don't know. Again, I'm biased. I don't know why I like it. I just like it. But yeah, it is what it is. So let's take a look. What is the score for this game? A B-. It was close to a C. Like if it didn't have this extra credit, hold on, 10-3, 10-3, and 2. Yeah, if it didn't have all that extra credit, you know, it wouldn't have got that. But a B- because of extra credit, I think that's fair. I think that's super fair at 80.47. That is a B- in any grading scale out there. I think that's good. I think that's good, considering, right? And for those that are like, no, this is easily a C game, well, take the extra credit away, boom, it's a C game. There you go. But I don't think it's a D. There's a lot worse games than this one. It is not a D. So guys, let me know what you think in the comments below about SVC, SNK versus Capcom Chaos. Let me get your thoughts and let me know what your experience was for this game back then and even now. I would like to hear from you. Don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe. Success and victory don't block what you face, and I will see you guys on the next time. Peace out.
Just the way I feel.